Hey everyone, today we got the ASICS S4 Yogiri, a shoe that originally launched months ago, maybe even a year ago. It only started gaining attention after its US release. The original S4 was designed for runners aiming for a sub-4 marathon. This updated version, the S4 Plus, stays true to that purpose. S4 stands for speed, stability, safety, and sub 4. So while it looks familiar to the Meta Speed, Sky Plus, and Edge Plus, the S4 series has a dual density midsole, a wider base, more outsole rubber for a more stable ride. The S4 and the S4 Plus share traits with the Magic Speed series, but the S4 has more FF turbo foam in the top layer, whereas the Magic Speed model only has a small puck of it. This S4 Plus features an FF Turbo Plus midsole at the top and a flight foam layer at the bottom. Unlike aggressive racing shoes designed for sub 3-hour marathons, the S4 Plus is tuned for average runners aiming for sub 4 hours. It features a full-length carbon plate, though you can't see it here. It adds structure and improves toe-off propulsion. The plate's expanded contact area enhances stability, making it more controlled and supportive. Let's head over to the specs and fit. The weight is 240 grams on a men's US 9, while on my US 10, it's 249 grams. It's got a stack height of 40 millimeters in the heel and 34 millimeters in the forefoot, giving it a 6 millimeter heel to toe drop. As for the upper and fit, 50% of the shoe's main upper material is made with recycled materials. It's made with an engineered mesh, breathable with a slight stretch, yet firm enough to hold your foot in place without any overlays. It's quite roomy in the toe box, not overly wide. It offers a lot of space above your toes for comfort. It's not wide, but it's quite roomy. It's got a very soft, thin tongue, suede-like material, just enough thickness to prevent any lace bite, especially if you tighten the laces up for a better fit. I have to tighten them all the way because it is quite roomy at the top here. It has a stiff heel cup, locks the heel down well without being too snug. It just hugs the heel. It's got a very grippy sock liner, keeps your foot secure with zero micro slipping. The laces are just right at the right length. I didn't need to do a runner's knot, but I just used one here. The outsole is called ASICS Grip, which provides grippy traction on varying road conditions, different from the one used with a Nova Blast, which is called AHR-LO or AHR-LO. This one on the S4 Plus is very, very grippy. For a race shoe, it's quite thick actually. So this is a race shoe that can actually double as a trainer, as it looks quite durable. Now to the midsole. The top layer is Flight Foam or FF Turbo Plus or Flight Foam Turbo Plus, and is the latest of ASICS Premier Super Foams. It's light and very responsive. The bottom layer is a standard Flight Foam, claimed to be lighter than other EVA foams. The bottom layer is firmer and actually makes this shoe pretty stable and smooth. Together with the carbon plate and the stable bottom foam gives a very smooth rolling sensation. The rocker here is also very smooth at toe off. When standing, it gives you that like falling on an edge feel, but when running, it doesn't feel quite that aggressive. I think the aggressiveness kind of disappears when you run. Again, it's just a very smooth transition. Talking more about the shoe in my short time with it, I noticed how well this maintains a pace, even when fatigue sets in. Initially, the ride felt very stiff and very slappy and also hollow out of the box. It even has this weird sound when walking, but it's also typical of FF Turbo Foam. These ASICS FF Turbo Foams, you really need to give it some mileage, and it really just has to soften up over time. What stood out to me immediately was how planted I was, especially here. Even when standing, even if I try to moved, just planted to the ground. It also feels like a tall platform. The grounded feel is actually good for this shoe. It's surprisingly stable. Cornering and turning didn't make me want to go any slower. So there's going to be a difference from the before and after, even in just one 10-kilometer run, and it's the creasing of the foam. It's already quite noticeable, but not too much creasing. During that run, it really felt it softened up right after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kilometers, and it just quickly softened up, became more flexible. I had better toe drive. The soft forefoot area here just loosened up fairly quickly, but I know this is still gonna continue breaking in, as with these known flight foam foams. Once the foam has softened up, I realized the carbon plate isn't as stiff as their flagship racers. The initial stiffness was all in the foam actually. After breaking in, the ride felt smoother and slightly softer. Just has this natural roll through my gait. It's not a springboard type of propulsion. It's not even an aggressive forward lean. It's just like a very smooth roll, but you can feel that tiny bit of propulsion there. The rocker is there, subtle. You don't actually feel it while running. The energy return is solid, not overly bouncy or a high rebound effect. It's efficient over long durations, and that's what the shoe is built for. Keeps you moving forward smoothly without feeling overly exciting, making it great for sustained efforts. Again, that's the purpose of this shoe. I tried running at a steady 5:30 to 6-minute kilometer pace. I was trying to simulate as if I was aiming for a sub 4-hour marathon. The ride wasn't quite exciting, but again, this is made to be efficient and energy saving over long distances. For easy paces, you can easily lock into that easy pace, and then as you get faster, you can get faster with relative easy effort or just at ease. You might need to be efficient first, like have a good cadence, as you can easily tap roll in this shoe. If you're a bouncy runner with longer strides, striking the ground harder with more ground time or more impact, this shoe actually won't reward you. It's for slower runners, but I don't think it's for a fresh beginner. Beginners tend to have longer strides, they might overstride, and they might actually compress more with more ground time or more time on the ground. You're a slow runner, but you're not a beginner, you're already efficient with your running, then this one is good for you. Pushing below 5 minutes per kilometer, picking up the pace, it still lacks excitement compared to the Peak Up 30 3.0 Elite, which has a similar sweet spot, but that falls short on the efficiency and doesn't really quite respond well versus the S4 Plus. Of course, an unfair comparison, this is quite expensive. This shoe is more dialed in. It's closer to the Anta C202 HP, another unfair comparison. They're quite almost the same in terms of like efficiency, as you just rely on the smoothness of that roll. The only difference is that this one is just a bit more efficient and very, very light, more premium. Both shoes don't really rely too much on propulsion actually. If you're already efficient, both shoes will actually just cruise you along. Now, comparing this to the Adios Pro 3, this isn't quite aggressive, but this FF Turtle Plus midsole is softer than the Light Strike Pro version of the Adios Pro 3, and the bottom flight foam actually mellows this one out, so it's not as bouncy or propulsive like the Pro 3. It's the closest one I can compare in terms of its firmness to softness. And within ASICS line of shoes, the closest would be the Magic Speeds. They tend to be much more firmer and much more stiffer, actually much more propulsive. And they're the same that they aren't as bouncy. The Magic Speeds are much more snappier. Closer to that Magic Speed feel is the 361 Flame 3 that I had. That one is also slappy, firmer, and more energetic though, but a bit lesser cushion than the Magic Speeds and this one. For intervals and 5K paces, you're better off with more energetic race shoes like the Flame 3 or Adios Pro 3. Even plated super trainers like the Magic Speeds or Deviate Nitros, those would be better at very fast efforts. As a race shoe, this sort of takes a bit more effort, even though it does pick up the pace well, just not at that very fast max effort level. On its own, if you're not comparing this to other fast shoes, it can pick up the pace well. But again, it's just more of a steady cruiser versus the more aggressive options. Where this slots in your rotation is actually as a trainer. It might be a race shoe, but for me, I look at it as a race-oriented trainer. Just feels effortless and efficient up to tempo paces, at least my tempo paces. It handles thresholds and 5K paces okay, or it's fine. It does have some speed assistance. If you're such a powerhouse in those more intensive workouts, there might be better options for you out there. Again, this is just tuned for a sub 4-hour marathon or a 5-minute 40-second per kilometer pace with probably around 170 to 180 plus cadence. It just means that you're just plodding along, not powering through. Overall, the ASICS S4 Plus Yogiri is a well-balanced racer designed to help everyday runners stay efficient and steady, especially in the later stages of the marathon. Give it time to break in, and it could be a solid option for a sub 4-hour training and racing. It's firm yet cushioned ride, not overly firm thanks to the soft compressive top layer foam. But if you prefer a squishy feel, then this really isn't for you. Squishy like the Hoka's Yellows or the new Saucony Elite 2. This one didn't have that snappiness unlike when it was out of the box, which was very stiff and firm. It's actually much more smoother now, and it seems like this will be better as this breaks in more. That's all I have for the ASICS S4 Plus Yogiri. So keep running, stay fit, always be kind.